Arc 2 began as Atya awakened from her injuries, still feeling the lingering ache of recent battles. She found herself alone in a Fae-crafted cell, her companions held in nearby cells, waiting while the Fae courts deliberated whether they were friends or foes. Before any judgment could be passed, Queen Sabril called for a bacchanalia, a vibrant and surreal Fae celebration to honor Thundin's sacrifice. Amid the festivities, Thundin's body was cast into stone, a statue of remembrance to stand eternally in the gardens of Senelius. The party, mourning their loss, was left in awe of the strange customs of the Feywild. In the aftermath, a surprise awaited them. A half-elf war mage named Silens, who had stowed away on their airship, revealed himself. Queen Sabril placed him under Atya's charge, adding yet another mystery to the group's journey. Seeking answers, Queen Sabril summoned the Fae's most disturbing oracle, the Lore Keeper, Akishigal. He appeared as a bloated, rubbery-skinned man, but under Sabril's command, he shed this disguise, revealing his true form as a monstrous cockroach demon. Akishigal warned that the ancient wards banishing the Shadow Fae were weakening, and that Shadow Fae were using Torum's aggression and cold iron weapons to manipulate and destroy their enemies. Realizing the severity of the threat, Queen Sabril tasked the party with a dangerous mission: to journey across the Feywild to the Great Barrier Weft, the main portal between the Feywild and the Shadowfell. Aware of the risks, the party accepted. The journey through Arboreum was as treacherous as expected. In the shadowed woods, they encountered Granny Pigtooth, a vile hag with a taste for flesh. Captured and at her mercy, the party had to rely on every ounce of strength and cunning to escape her grasp. Bruised but unbroken, they pressed onward, reaching the Fey city of Shinalestra, a metropolis alive with otherworldly beauty and mystery. Here, they learned of a new tragedy. Lady Berkta, the Fey Lady of Prophecy, had been slain by a cold iron weapon, and her killer had escaped into the city's ancient tunnels. Chasing the assassin, they delved into tunnels that exposed secrets the Fey would rather keep buried. The ruins told a grim story: the Fae's own sins in creating the Darakul Plague, in sealing away the Shadow Fae. This dark history left the party shaken, their faith in their Fae allies beginning to fracture. Deeper in the tunnels, they encountered the assassin and an unexpected ally, Mora, captain of the city guard and Atya's childhood friend. Mora, disillusioned with Sabril, implored Atya to join her in opposing the Fae courts, claiming they were too corrupt to save. Though the party managed to defeat Mora and the assassin's allies, their foes escaped. They were left with nothing but the grim revelations of the Fae's dark past. Queen Sabril herself appeared to confront them, and a deep distrust of the Fae began to settle in the hearts of the party. Following these revelations, the group was sent to the Grey Vale, a valley under the protection of Fauthin, the Grey Lady and longtime patron of blood hunters. She tasked them with entering her twisted maze to cleanse it of the ancient corruption festering there. At its heart lay the original Sacratorium, a place of dark and powerful magic. The maze was a place of haunting illusions and twisted paths, but the party fought through the darkness until they cleansed the corruption that had plagued Fauthin's domain. In gratitude, she offered them forbidden knowledge, explaining the nature of shards, domains, and the essence of divinity, as well as the Nightweaver's power to sever a shard from its vessel. As they prepared to move forward, they encountered Kalrana Hart, a blue barber of the Feywild. She had arranged a strange mission. They were to attend a gathering of the Winter Court and secure a single hairlock from a Winter Archfey. But as they mingled with the Fey nobles of Winter, disaster struck. A Shadow Fae assassin appeared, killing the Winter Archfey, and the party was blamed. Cornered and overwhelmed, they fought desperately until Kalrona pulled them into the Shadow Roads, the ancient pathways known only to the Shadow Fae. The Shadow Roads, filled with oppressive darkness and twisting paths, threatened to consume them. But after a grueling journey, they found a portal back to Senalius, arriving just in time as the Fae courts spiraled into fear and uncertainty. Their return coincided with an extraordinary event, the Council of Fae. Every Archfey gathered to discuss the rising threat from Edegan. After a tense debate, they reached a fateful decision. The Wefts must be sealed, isolating the Feywild from the material plane. The party was allowed to return to Edegan, with Atya remaining behind to see the Wefts sealed. Yet, as they went to bid farewell to Queen Sabril, tragedy struck. A Shadow Fae assassin, somehow bypassing all defenses, killed Sabril before Atya's eyes. Sabril's splinter of nature passed into Silence, who stood stunned. Ludimir seized the moment, accusing Atya and the party of Sabril's murder, securing his rule as the King of Seasons. Their escape was frantic and harrowing. Atya's brother was separated from the group, and her parents fell to Fae arrows. Kaedan Blackwing joined the pursuit, cutting down Belior and severing his head, throwing it as a final message to the fleeing party. With Fae forces close behind, Silence unleashed his newfound power, shattering the Weft. As the portal collapsed, the party fell back into Edegan, while Silence was left behind in the Feywild, carrying the shard of the fallen queen. Thus, Arc 2 ended, a journey marked by tragedy, betrayal, and the looming shadow of war.